Good morning, guys. Just waiting for a few more people to join, but I am going to go ahead and start to go over the watch list here pretty soon. Alright, guys, it looks like we have a few more people that joined, so I'm going to go ahead now and get started on the watch list. So as you guys can see, a lot of the stocks that we were watching from yesterday are in play again. So KITT, this one actually was pretty choppy yesterday. I didn't end up trading this one. I ended up trading PEGY yesterday. So I avoided this one. It did close pretty strong though. So for KITT, if we can build up, if we can pop over $6 and hold that level with solid support, I'm definitely going to still keep an open bias to see if we can break out through yesterday's highs. On the flip side, if it just stays heavy, maybe spikes and rejects and stays heavy under 6, then we can potentially look for a short to fade this back down to maybe the low 5s or 450s. I'm kind of hoping that it holds up and breaks out higher though. I'm going to be watching that one off the open along with PEGY. This is definitely going to be another main watch for me today. So on PEGY, I ended up, I basically told you guys in the morning if we held $2 off the open, that would probably be a good risk level for the long. And that actually ended up being a really good long setup there right off the open. It ended up running all the way to 3. I did also mention though yesterday that I'd be interested in a short on this if we ran up into this previous resistance. So I ended up shorting it yesterday after it topped out right here towards this drop. I had a wider stop in the 293 area, and it ended up staying heavy and breaking down here. So that was really nice. I ended up adding to my position, and then my last cover, I actually covered most of it here, and then the last of it I covered as it popped up above the 230s. So really nice reversal here and gap up. Let's take a look at the daily chart on PEGY. So far we topped out in the 4s. This is kind of a big level on the daily, and then we have some resistance towards 5, and then we have a bigger level all the way up there towards $8 and $9. So when it comes to the short today, if we do run higher and get extended, I might be interested again. Maybe towards this $5 resistance, depending on how it acts, 5 to 6. I'd definitely be interested in that area or higher. But for now, I'll keep an open bias if we can hold over $4. That's going to be kind of the key level for me at the moment. We also have TOPS, which is looking a little bit weak this morning. But I'll set a few price alerts on that one towards 9 and 9.50. Just in case it ends up trapping and popping back up. BEAT, really nice breakout in pre-market. This is actually a stock that we've been watching basically for the last couple of weeks now. Along this whole run-up, we've been watching it. And then it finally got this big breakout. It's been kind of consolidating, trading sideways the last few days. So nice to see that one get some continuation. I'm pretty long biased on it as long as it holds over 6 for now. So those are pretty much the main movers I'm watching. PRVB as well. So really quickly, I'll just go over the watch list that I made last night. And then we'll go over the rest of the gappers. So really quickly, the first one on the watch list was KITT. I kind of went over this one already. I'll be watching to see how it reacts over 6. TOPS, PEGY, I just went over. I feel like PEGY still has room on the daily to break out higher if it wants to. So I'll definitely keep an open bias if we hold 4 off the open. FNGR had a pretty big recovery yesterday. We still kind of have this key 8 to 850 level. So I still have an open bias on FNGR. If this pops over 850 again and that level holds with solid support, I'll definitely keep an open bias there, and we'll see if we can get that next leg up. If it just rejects and stays heavy under 8 and 850, we can potentially look for a fade. But I'm leaning a little bit more towards the long side, hopefully, if that 850 can reclaim. Same with SNTI. This has been on our watch list ever since this day one move that we had when we gapped up on a lot of volume. You can see the volume bars. The volume kind of died off the next few days, and then you can see on this day when we broke out, we had some really nice volume there. So for me on this one, for me to be long biased, I would say this 480 is kind of the key level for me. You can see we did reject that level so far in pre-market. But if we can pop over that level and hold 480, I'll definitely keep an open bias on SNTI. I'm just going to set a price alert above the 480s in case. AERC. This one had kind of a sideways day yesterday. Kind of a little bit more short biased on it. It looks weak at the moment, but I will set a price alert at 5 just in case it does trap shorts and come back into play. CSCW, IMVT. So that was pretty much everything from the watch list that I made last night. Let's go ahead and go back to the gappers really quickly. And we can just see if there's anything that I might have missed. But we're almost done with the watch list here. Also, guys, if you want me to take a look at any certain stocks, just let me know in the YouTube comments and I can go ahead and pull that up for you. Alright, so I'm not really seeing anything else on the gapper scan besides really the main ones. Let me see if there's any large caps that are gapping up nicely. We have PINS pins gapping up a little bit. Let's see if there's anything else. So yeah, I'm not really seeing too many big large cap gappers. Alright, so the last thing I want to go over is just the overall market. So the last few days have been really good for calls. On this day right here, I was able to capture this move, this big leg up from 363 all the way up to basically 368s. So I was able to catch that move, and then the next day I caught calls as well for this big run up. But yesterday we had a little bit of a choppier morning just for the opening range. I ended up getting chopped up a little bit here. I did end up getting puts though for this big breakdown. So I ended up making back most of the losses here. But I ended up having a small red day on SPY. And then I ended up trading PEGY, which actually got me green on the day from this short. But when it came to SPY, I had a little bit of a red day on this chop. Had I stayed focused on it, I think there's a good chance once this curled back up and held, I probably would have gotten calls and rode some of this move up. But I really wasn't too focused on it. This morning, though, the plan for me right now, I know this 375 is pretty big level from the last few days. So if we can hold 375 to 376 with a lot of support off the open, I'll consider getting calls for potentially a bounce back up to 377, 378s or higher. So we'll see if it reacts that way off the open, if there's a lot of strength. On the flip side, if we just kind of pop and reject and then start to stay heavy under 375s, I'll probably start to look for puts. So I'm pretty much just watching to see how we react off of this 375 off the open. If it seems like it's a little bit choppier off the open, I'm definitely going to try to be patient. Yesterday, if I was just a little bit more patient, I probably would have been able to avoid the chop and then join for the puts on this downside break. So that's going to be the goal today. I'm going to try to be patient if it's choppy off the open. Um, Looking at Tesla as well, it's been fading pretty hard the last couple of days. Yesterday was a pretty big sell-off in the morning on Tesla. I feel like Tesla might be a little bit oversold from yesterday. We'll see. If we can hold 238 with a lot of support and a lot of strength, I'll consider calls to look for the 240 breakout. Maybe we'll get a push back up towards 242, 244s. If we stay heavy under 240 though, I'll probably be looking for puts on Tesla if it stays heavy. And then we can see if it wants to fade back towards yesterday's lows, which was around this 233. So those are the key levels I'm going to be watching off of the open is really this 238 support. I'm going to be watching this area pretty closely. Anyways, we have about 6 minutes until the market opens. So going into the open, I'm going to be pretty much just watching SPY and PEGY. PRVB, BEAT, KITT. These are probably going to be my top 4 for the market open. And yeah, I'm going to relax for a bit. We have about 5 minutes. If you guys have any questions though, just let me know in the YouTube comments. And I will be back closer to the market open. Alright, so far nice little bounce off that 375 area on SPY. Tesla is also getting a decent push off the open. Alright, so I didn't end up getting calls off the open. There was a little scalp opportunity there. But I'm watching it. It's starting to pull back versus 376.50. So I want to see how it reacts on this little pullback we're getting. If it stays really strong, I'll consider buying calls for this next little push. Alright guys, so like I said, I was waiting for that 376.50 to hold, and it did hold on that pullback, so I got calls, sold some into this pop, but I'm actually still holding half of my contracts, gonna try to be patient with it. Hopefully we can get like 378s, 379s. Nice push on SPY. JWEL is popping up on scans. Nice little spike there. SPY is working out very nicely. That was a really good long setup there. It pretty much did exactly what I wanted it to. If I can get a push to 379, 380s, I'm going to sell the rest of my contracts. I'm already out most of it. I only have 1/4 left. Hopefully some of you caught those calls as well. I know Primo in the Discord chat, in the private Discord, caught it. A few scalps. And I can actually move my stop up as well on my last piece. So I really don't want to see this go below 377. And I think it looks pretty strong. I think we're going to get this push here. But I have a tight stop on the rest, so I'm not going to give any profits back. Nice spike on PRVB as well. Alright, let's see if we can get 379 on this push now on SPY. Tesla is also getting a little push. There we go. Pretty much got my target close to 379 there. Really happy with how I was able to read SPY. It gave a really clear entry for me. I entered right here. It did pull back on me. I was pretty close to cutting it if it would have broke under 376.20. I was watching that level really closely. Luckily for me, that ended up holding pretty much perfectly, and I was able to hold for this leg up. So that was basically the move I'm looking for. When I do look on the daily though, I mean, this daily looks pretty good still. We could break past 380 today. I'm not going to rule that out. But lately I have been pretty good at selling towards the highs. When we did have those trending days. Not yesterday, but the days before that. But yeah, if you kind of zoom out on SPY, the bigger picture still looks pretty bullish. I feel like there is a good chance we could break that 380. But that was pretty much the move I was looking for. Let's see if there's anything else to focus on. I definitely do not want to buy calls up here on SPY. I'm done with that trade now, and it's starting to pull back pretty hard. When it comes to being long biased, now I would really want to see this 378 hold. So we'll see if this turns into a lower high or if it just ends up bouncing off this level. And I'll go ahead and show you guys a screenshot of my orders and my trades here. So I ended up going with the 379 calls. Which is a little bit high. I don't know why I went with the 379. I think I clicked the wrong one. But they ended up moving pretty well, so it wasn't too bad. I probably should have went with like the 378 if there was one, because I bought it while it was at like this area right here. So I try to stay like within like $1 or $2 of the strike price. So I guess 379 wasn't the worst one to pick. But as you can see, I bought the calls at 226, 227s. I added some more, and then I scaled out a little bit. Really should have held that one a little bit longer. And then I scaled out 266 and then 299. So I pretty much sold the top of these calls towards the highs. So pretty happy with SPY this morning. Really awesome way to start the day. But yeah, lately I've been focusing on options for like the first 30 minutes, and then if there's any really good small caps kind of developing, then I shift my focus over to the small caps. I think things are really starting to heat up. We're getting a lot more gappers and things like that. But a lot of these names are pretty choppy, so you still got to be somewhat selective. Unless you're scalping, then that's a different story. But if you're looking for like bigger moves, you got to be pretty selective with a lot of these tickers. Like KITT, this one for me would probably be pretty difficult to trade unless I was scalping it, because there's just so many, reclaims. That's why I went with PEGY. I felt like it was just easier trend to read. But speaking of that one, we got a big rejection of 450, and it's looking very weak, obviously. SPY is rolling over. It almost hit my 379 target, so I got out near the top. I didn't want to be greedy. I didn't want to wait for 380s. I just went with my plan, and worked out nicely. PRVB, if this can hold VWAP, you can see it's bouncing off VWAP a little bit. We'll see how this 620 level reacts. But if it can hold 620, we might get another leg up on PRVB. That might be something to watch. When I look at the daily on this one, I feel like it has potential to spike higher. We have some levels towards 7 and 8. So hopefully this one stays in play. SPY is pulling back pretty hard. Pretty heavy. BEAT is still trying to hold this $6 support for now. TOPS looks weak. I'm going to put that on my other screen, and I'm going to switch it with SNTI. because SNTI is actually popping back over this 480 level that I mentioned in pre-market. So I'll keep an eye on SNTI as well. Nice strength on Tesla today. So I had a pretty good plan on that in pre-market as well. Basically watching that 240 level. I basically said at the open, if 240 held, we could look for calls or this 238 level. Right off the open, there was a lot of strength in Tesla. I had the level 2 pulled up on DAS and the contracts, but it just ripped off the open. So I didn't want to chase this up here with the calls. So I ended up switching to SPY, but it did end up pulling back. So I guess I could have gone long if I was watching that pullback. But I ended up switching to SPY, and then that just ended up setting up a little bit better for me. But there's definitely days where I trade SPY, and then Tesla is the one that makes like a huge move. I'm trying to find a balance between, you know, picking the better one on the day. That's another thing that I'm kind of working on. Anyways, guys, let's see. I'm going to go ahead and scan a little bit more. I know we have some other plays popping up. MOTS on the scans. So I'm going to go ahead and put SPY on my secondary screen. And I'll pull this one up. Looking at the daily on MOTS, this one actually spiked up to almost $5 recently. We gapped up. This is the one that gapped up, and then as soon as it opened, it just ended up just dumping the whole day. You guys can go ahead and look back a few days. But we have a lot of resistance from that day. You can see the volume was 24 million. Let's see, where's the VWAP on that day? The VWAP is towards the high threes. Kind of hard to see. So I might be interested in a short on MOTS. If we can get a nice extension towards like the 3s and 4s potentially. I will definitely be interested in a short on this. There's that SNTI breakout. Massive breakout there. Crazy move there on SNTI. We're actually halted to the upside now. And there's really no resistance. There's no volume that was traded above. No big volume anyways. So you really got to treat SNTI like a brand new chart. There's the open on SNTI. Wow. SPY and Tesla really staying heavy now. You can see SPY right back at that initial level from the open. Tesla also went from green to red, it looks like. So market is pretty heavy this morning after that initial bounce. Wow. Tesla really staying heavy here. I gotta also work on flipping to puts because I've been pretty good with the calls and selling into like the highs on the day. But I've had a lot of opportunities to flip to the short to capture that move. It's kind of tough sometimes though when you're watching, small caps. Kind of hard to focus on both. But if I was just focused on SPY the whole day, I think there's a good chance that I would be flipping to puts on a lot of these days that we get that bounce and then it kind of stalls out. MOTS looks pretty weak right now. It's already kind of topping out. If this would have spiked to like the threes, I think that would have been a really good short for me. But I don't think we're going to get up there. KITT is back over $6. Just the key level I mentioned in pre-market. We might see some shorts get stopped out if this pushes towards yesterday's high, which is pretty close to. Alright guys, so it's been about 30 minutes. I do hope that my commentary on SPY helped you guys out. And, the watch list from pre-market. So if you guys enjoy these live streams, please do me a favor and hit that like button. It really helps the channel out a lot. Also, for those that are interested in the private Discord, it does include the live scans, my live screen shares and commentary, alerts, and things like that. There's a lot more in the private Discord as well. And there's a lot of cool people in there that you can learn from as well. So if you guys are interested in that, there's a link in the description for the private Discord room. We also have a free public Discord that you guys can join. And if you guys have any questions, you can message us on there. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and end the YouTube live stream. If you're in the private Discord room, you can go ahead and switch over to the voice channel and the Discord screen share, and I'll be streaming on there. For everyone else, I will be back tomorrow morning, so we'll go over the watch list again tomorrow. And yeah, if you guys have any questions, feel free to message me, and I will see you guys tomorrow.